Hey guys, welcome back to Creators of the Lost Art. My name is Ron and I have a problem. This is my problem. This unsightly trailer is on the property behind us, and I've offered my neighbor to tear it down, and he said he would allow it if I gave him $500. Well, that's not going to happen, but I want to make it go away because Mandy and I are tired of looking at it. So we got to figure out a way to do that Unwreck It Ron style. In an earlier video, I built this fence and I had every intention of cutting these off here, and I'm glad I didn't, because what we've decided is we're going to run a cable pulled tight from there to that post and then to that post. And we purchased on Amazon, we purchased some 6-foot, it's fence shading material is what it is. So we're going to run it along that cable kind of like a clothesline and then fasten it down to the fence, and where it's only 6 foot tall, it will eliminate much of the view of this trailer. Now, thankfully, as you see the pile of trash, thankfully, my neighbor said that he finally sold this place. We haven't met the new neighbors yet, but hopefully they will come and, tear this down and haul it off or whatever. I began by adding additional support to the 4x4 corner post. My other neighbor gave me 2 bags of Quikrete that he wasn't going to use. Apparently he hasn't realized that he's missing the door and the windows from his camper that I used on the chicken coop build. So I put these extra 2x4 treated 2x4s in for support, because I'm going to be drilling a hole and attaching these eye bolts and then using these turnbuckles to pull that cable extremely tight. And I'm talking Macho Man Randy Savage off the top rope tight. You got that reference, if you're a true fan. But I'm gonna go ahead and drill these. I'm gonna mount these bolts up there, get it ready, but I've got to wait for the concrete to cure before I start pulling tension on it. And we'll see how that goes. All right, so I got my eye bolt in there, got the nut, washer and the nut started. I did not tighten it down, and I don't want to tighten this down because I've got probably 3/4 of an inch here that once I've fully retracted my turnbuckle, if I need a little bit more, I can get 3/4 of an inch. If I do the same thing on both ends, that's 1.5 inches extra. But the way a turnbuckle works is one is right-handed threads and one is left-handed threads. And as you turn this to tighten it, you know, both pieces are threading into that center part, which will pull your load even tighter. So I've got it ready for cable. Once again, I got to wait for the concrete to cure, but I'm going to get as far as I can and then come back tomorrow and hang this thing up. Using cable clamps, I attached the cable to the turnbuckle on one end and drilled a hole and ran the cable through it on the center post. So I'm using these simple cable clamps, and the way that they work, you have 2 nuts and a U-bolt, and you stick your cable in there, you make a loop, pull it back through, and you just take I'm using a drill, but you can use a wrench too, and you just tighten them down evenly so they're really tight, and they won't slip. And I'm adding 2 to each end just because this cable is going to have a ton of tension on it. On the other end, I pulled it as tight as I could and clamped it down with the cable clamps. I got the cable up. I don't know how well it shows up on the camera. It's very sunny out here, but here it is. And on this end, it's got a bit more sag in it than I want it to. So the way we're going to take that out, and the reason why I added these turnbuckles, is because now we could take the wrench, we could tighten it. I'm gonna have to use both hands, but I'm gonna hold this side with my hand, tighten this will thread in, this will thread in, and it'll pull that cable this way, and then I'll go to the other end and do the same thing. I stretched out the fencing material and started attaching it to the cable using zip ties. Originally, I'd wanted to run it through the metal grommets, but decided against it because if this gets damaged in any way, I would have to take down the entire cable in order to replace it. Alright guys, so I ran into my first 2 issues. Number one is I was not happy with, this is the longest stretch of cable that I have, and that it was sagging pretty good. So I used what I had on hand, which was a treated 2x4. Came in here, buried it. I didn't cement it in the ground. I'm just gonna U-nail it to the fence. But I took my miter saw and cut a little 45-degree slot that the cable can slide down in, and I'm gonna put a U-nail here so that it can't come back out. And then nail it right back here to the fence to keep it upright. And the second is that it's a very sunny day, and I don't know if you guys have noticed, but I don't have a whole lot of natural God-given protection on the old dome, so I had to break out the Farmer Brown hat. So don't laugh at me too much. It does a great job of keeping the sun off of me. So continuing on, putting the fence up. I left a gap at the bottom in order to use the trimmer to cut the grass at the bottom of the fence. I I didn't film it, but on this third section I had to add a vertical support as well. And then, after a pretty intense shoulder workout, all that remained was to trim off the ends of all the zip ties. There it is, all completed. I may pull it a little bit tighter at the top, but I'm gonna have to put some guy wires on this post. You can see it's already under a lot of tension, so I may have to put a guy wire from here out, or I think we're gonna build some more fencing over in this area anyway for our raised bed garden area and future greenhouse. But so our fence is 153 feet long, and you can order this custom lengths, but for 153 feet, it was $100 more than 3 50-foot sections. So we ordered 3 50-foot sections, and it turned out okay. Of course, I would rather have a 6-foot board privacy fence, but who can afford lumber these days? So worked out quite well. Just don't know the longevity of it with the wind and everything. We'll see. I tried to pull it tight so that it wouldn't rub as much, but it was fairly cheap, so we can replace it if need be. And the day that they tear that old trailer down, I'll probably take my fence down. So thanks for watching. Your favorite part of the new privacy fence?
That one?
Yep.
Probably that the cats can't get in anymore because they used to climb in and get in. And that the chickens, because they're learning how to fly, they're evolving. So they can't get out and get me if I'm back there.
And Penelope, what's your favorite part
Of that?
of the new privacy fence?
Because I can go pee without anyone seeing me.
Outside?
Yeah.
Oh, proud dad moment. No, you're not allowed to do that.